Hey, welcome back. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Real Room Show. And I thought since I had this book out, and I have it down in my workshop, I would revisit this book. The one thing I found out from some comments I got on one of my previous shows just recently is people were asking questions about would I do this show, would I do that show. And I'm thinking back, I've already done that show. If you just go back and search through my shows, you'll see that. Well, it turned out, excuse me, there was a time, and this was about a year ago, that YouTube was having some problems, and they were losing people's shows, just losing them. And I was one of those people that was hit. I lost all my shows. I went on one day and they were just all gone. So I contacted them and they said, yeah, they had a problem and they were going through their archives and restoring people's shows, channels, the whole channel, basically. So then a couple days, my shows were back. And the thing about my shows is I do the original show, and then once I post it to Amazon, I do some minor editing, like I add notes and corrections and stuff like that. And so I don't have that final content. I have the original, but I don't have the final. So I was really concerned there for a while. So since they appeared to be all back, I said, okay, fine, everything's hunky-dory. Well, yesterday I was going back and trying to find a show that somebody had a question about, or a subject that I had done a show on that somebody had a comment about. Guess what? I couldn't find it. Turns out my shows, before I start putting numbers on them, are gone. They're missing. They're long gone. So I'm going to have to try to figure out what shows I lost, which will take me a little bit of time because I've got probably 1,500 shows, of which some are duplicates, some are just partial shows that I didn't finish. So I got a lot of shows to go through to try to find out what is missing that was in those original shows that I didn't put TRRS in a number on it. Because what I did is once I got what I thought all my videos were, I got them back, then I went through and renumbered everything, that way I could tell if I lost one. So of the ones that are numbered, they're all there because that's the ones they restored. So I apologize if I have made a comment to go see one of my shows and it's not there anymore. So I have to deal with that. Anyway, since the previous show I just did, I talked about this book compared to this one here. And so I just noticed a couple of things that I was looking at this morning after doing that show that I'd like to point out again, because maybe when I reviewed this book, I don't think it was one that was lost, but it could have been. But anyway, this is Fred Osterman's third edition. He did 3 of these, shortwave receivers past and present, which basically are tech sheets, spec sheets on older radios from 1942 to 1997. What I was looking at after I did this last video is, are there radios in here that are not in here? Because this does go through 1997, and this was published in 1996. Well, the few that I looked up are in here. They're in here. And one of them being that I mentioned in the previous show, and I'll find it again, I just lost the page, here it is the Radio Shack shortwave radios, and specifically, and let me zoom in a little bit here, specifically the DX394. Let me slide this up a little bit. I've got a bad shadow on my desktop now, as you can see, because I got this mat in because I had another one that I used in my office, but this one, although it looks the same, is not the same manufacturer, has a shiny surface, where the one upstairs in my office has a dull surface, and this reflects light really bad. So all my overhead lights create a big reflection here on this. So I'm just using my side lights right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the other mat down here and swap them out and have the one that's got the dull finish. Anyway, so here is the Radio Shack's DX394, which I just revisited a couple of shows ago. And there's a couple of things I noticed that this book has that this one, same radio, see if I can find it again, right here, doesn't have. And they're important things. One of them is reviews. This big book, more expensive book, has a section telling you where you can find reviews, because this doesn't do reviews, it just provides specs, where you can find reviews of the radios. For instance, this DX394 was viewed in the Passport of World Radios yearly periodical of reviews of radios in 1997 and 1998. So there's where you can find a review. Also in WRTH in 1996, Monitoring Times in 1996, NASWA in 1996, and QST in October of 1997. So there's a whole bunch of very useful information that this doesn't have. It doesn't have anything like that. Another reason to pay the extra money. And in general, the specs and stuff like that, there's more of them in this book. So I wanted to show you that. For instance, this one, the big one, mentions the tuning step rates that you can change. The LCD is backlit. Bandwidths are mode dependent. You know, it gives you a lot of extra little pieces of information that this one does not. Okay. The other thing I wanted to point out about this monster is I mentioned in the previous video that this looked like a signed copy. I remember now this particular one is a signed copy. As a matter of fact, there's a little seal in here that points that out. And this has a serial number, and it's the 51st edition or whatever copy of this particular book, dated April of 1998. So I've forgotten that this was a special edition, and that was the reason that it was provided with this jacket. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to, since I had this out, go back and talk about it a little bit. Tons. I remember I looked it up last time of how many radios are reviewed in here. Excuse me, not reviewed. Information is provided. It was like 500 to 600 radios. All brands. Again, going all the way back to 1942. Helicrafter, Zenith, Drake. Some radios names I don't even recognize. Collins, AOR, Allied Signal. Tons of information. Just tons of information. I didn't check to see if, and if you'll bear with me a few seconds, because I got Amazon opened here. Let me see if I can see if there's any of these available. If I can do it quick, I will. Otherwise, forget it. Nope, there's none of these available on Amazon right this minute. But just keep checking back. And again, I suggest you get this one and not the other one. Also, a correction on the last video about this one is it's $10. That's the cheapest price you can get it, plus $4 shipping. So it's $14. And this one, I don't remember how much this one was. Again, the same gentleman that got me this one, so I don't know what he paid for it. Anyway, just wanted to update that information. And again, I'm going to try to find out what videos were lost, because I did a lot of general type videos early on, you know, how to use your radio and stuff like that. And apparently they're gone, they're lost. So that gives me a chance to go back and revisit some subjects. Anyway, if you like this show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.